we are going to do a little recap of the water year 2020. As you know, we started water year 2021 on the 1st of October. Next slide. So looking at the distribution of the full natural flow, we got close to average full natural flows in October, December, as well as April, but most of the other months we were fairly below average. We had our peak full natural flow in May, which is pretty normal distribution. Next slide. And for the accumulation, we had 967,482 acre feet. This is a little less than a million acre feet below average. And in terms of percentage, that's 50.7%. Next slide. And looking at it based on exceedance, if we had, perfect hindsight of what we were going to expect, that 967,000 hits right between the 90 and 80% exceedance. Next slide. And this right here is showing in purple the precipitation, and in blue is the snowpack. So we can see right around Thanksgiving or the end of November, we had a pretty good start to the water year with the snowpack building up. But after that, we really only had a few precipitation events that helped to maintain the snowpack. And then once we entered February, where we had really dry conditions, we were noticing that the snowpack was starting to decrease. And thankfully, we did finally get some precipitation in March and April, which helped to kind of bring that snowpack up to pretty close to where it was in November. And finally, we saw most of the snowpack gone by the beginning of June. Next slide. The following is just kind of a video representation of how the snowpack changed within the watershed, looking at, there was only a few events that really got to those lower elevations, but we could see those events quickly melted off. And we could see through time that it wasn't until that March and April period that we saw any kind of accumulation in that upper watershed. And then finally, overall, most of the snowpack gone by June.